All right. So, hey, y'all. Welcome to our podcast. This is our first ever From the Farmyard episode. And basically, this is just going to be an introduction to us, our farms, what we are about, and just y'all getting to know us a little bit. So, I will let my good friend Zach open this. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Zach. I live in Virginia on a half-acre farm, is what I like to call it, in a neighborhood. And I like to show people that you don't have to have 20 plus acres to do any one thing. You can do it on very small scale and even max out your property beforehand. So.
Yeah, and that's really, I know that that is probably, it is inspirational for some people just to show that, you know, you don't have to have a big property to have a farm or to grow things. Yeah. I mean, I know you are just like cramming your yard full of fruit trees, garden space, animals, and it is really cool. So my name is Reagan and I am a poultry farmer right now. You know, I want to farm other animals, but for right now, I've only raised chickens. I have 20 some birds, and then on and off through the spring and summer, we raise meat birds. And we just built our first barn, because we are going to be raising milk goats, which is really exciting because I've never done that before, but it'll be fun. It'll be cool. New experiences, you know, it's a learning process. That's what farming is. It's learning.
Yeah. Your barn looks amazing.
I know. My dad just painted the roof black, so it now has a black roof, and we're letting the wood just letting it go. We're not going to paint the wood at all. It's just going to be a natural.
So no red barn?
No, we're not doing the typical. No red barn.
That's fine. It looks amazing before the black, and after the black, it's going to look amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm just excited because I get to have a whole new chicken coop with more space, meaning more chickens, right?
That is how your chicken coop is, because you have it in a stall, right?
Right, in a stall, and then we've cut it off into like a building, basically.
That's how I want mine to be, like, eventually when we get a barn and more land and all that.
Yeah.
I want my inside of the barn, because I think it's just so much easier to have it in there, right, and then have them able to be let out and all that.
Right, it is. It's going to be nice to have all that extra space. Like I said, like this year, you know, I've got 20 some chickens, but next year, you know, chicken math, you know how it works. It just multiplies. It just does.
Chicken is a real thing. Anyone who thinks that it's not, never had.
No, it is. It really is.
They really don't like birds at all, because if you like birds and you have chickens, chicken math will sneak up on you, and you have one, or you'll have 5 1 year, and the next year you have 30 something.
Right. Yeah, I want to get a lot of like fowl. Like I like the poultry, the bird side of things. Like I want like an emu really bad. And peacocks. I just think that's cool. Mm-hmm. Like they're not like, they don't like do anything for you, but they make you happy, right? That's something.
Exactly. Happy, that is definitely something.
Like you could sell the peacock feathers if you wanted to make a profit with them. You could do that.
Or the pea chicks after the fact, hatching eggs.
There's like two, isn't there like there's 2 types of peacocks, like the white peacock and then like the normal. Have you seen the white peacocks?
Yeah, I love the white peacocks, but there are way more than one than the 2 types. I've looked it up, and I think they're like 20.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. There's like the Indian peacocks, which are like considered the normal, the white peacocks, and then there's one that's like pied or whatever, that's white, brown, blue, multiple different colors on there. It's like the mutt of the peacock world, but there's so many more than just those 3, and the 2 that people are used to.
That would be there probably is, because like I mean, and they're probably really beautiful, because I look at a peacock and peacocks are just so majestic. Like that's like the only word that comes to mind whenever I see a peacock. It's just like they're just such a majestic bird. It's just
Yeah,
it's so neat. You
they
know,
are.
it's just so neat.
And where is your farm based off of, or based out of?
Our farm is in central Pennsylvania. We are from Pennsylvania, which is it's okay. It's nice. We have a nice plot of land. I think we have like 8 acres in total.
And how many acres do you have cleared?
2, I think. Maybe less. I don't know. We just cleared out more for more garden space. And it'll be great. It'll be great. We do. We really do. You know, there should be like, you know how like there's chicken math, but there should be like garden math. Like it just seems like we just keep adding more. There's just
Yeah.
I know my grandfather, he said he's like building like 2 whole more gardens. Like, and he has big gardens. He's building 2 more next year. Like it just gets bigger.
That's wonderful. If you have seen my seed or my seed box, like it is like a pretty big Barnes and Noble box, and it's filled with seeds completely. And then I have like different bags and stuff that I have seeds in it too, like cold weather crops, flowers, things like that. Love adding
so many. There's so many things that you can grow, and for me personally, I love to just watch things grow. Just like the process to me is so interesting. I just like to see a green bean grow from a bean to like another bean, or like the flowers that some plants produce. Like it's just so interesting to me. And there's so many varieties of plants that you can grow. It's crazy. It's crazy.
My favorite thing to watch grow is corn. It sounds so cool. Weird. I love watching it grow because it's like 2 inches tall, and then just a couple weeks later, it's 6 foot, 7, even 8 foot tall.
Right.
It's like I watch things grow from just tiny little seedlings all the way into this plant that is going to produce so much food. It's amazing.
It's corn, you know, a big lump with knobs.
Yep.
So what if you could have any farm animal? What, like right now, if you could have any farm animal that you like wish you could have on your property, what farm animal would it be?
Well, right now, since I have a whole bunch of chickens and ducks and turkeys and things like that, and I've raised goats before. I would like to do goats, but I think milk sheep would be a really great addition.
I just found out that you can milk a sheep. Like, that seems really weird.
The woman that we take our birds to get processed from, she's already said that. She said once we get more land, she will give me goats and she will give me sheep. And I said, you can milk a sheep?
And
she
cool.
said, I do it twice a day, every day. And I'm like,
how much milk does she get out of, like?
I don't know. The conversation was some time ago, or not sometime. It was a couple weeks ago.
I just wonder, like, obviously I know goats have different purposes, but I know that they're milk animals. Like a cow can produce how many gallons, a goat can produce how many, but a sheep just seems like so low on the milking scale. Like I feel like you wouldn't be able to get a ton, but they say that what I heard was that it's like a really like it's really healthy for you too. Like it's one of the best milks for you.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I mean, I see myself, you know, milking a goat, a cow, but a sheep, I don't know. That seems
Yeah. I'm the same way about that. I feel like I could milk a cow and I could milk a sheep or a goat, but a sheep, like, I think it's just, I feel like it's going to be different, but then it's the same family and it's the same animal family. So it should be about the same.
And it's also a dual purpose because you can shear it too, right?
You can shear it. You can process. You can process Yeah, you can process them, shear them, milk them, sell the kids, sell the
Right.
adult.
There's so many
There's so
things. It's like if you're gonna get an animal, like you want an animal that you can do multiple things with. Like what's gonna be the most
yeah,
beneficial?
yeah, and they can clear out forested areas.
Right,
They
right.
same with goats, and they're good on pasture. Where goats, they can be, but goats are more browsers instead of browsers, foragers. They don't really graze in the sense
Mm-hmm.
of sheep and cows
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
What's your or what animal do you wish that you had?
There's a lot. I've got a really long list, but I'm gonna be brief. I'm gonna try to like I can pick two, like right off the top of my head. Two animals I really want right now. I have a really strange obsession with wanting a pig really bad right now. Like I literally just told my mom last night, I'm like, Mom, I'm getting myself a pig. Like I don't even care what you say. I'm like, I want to buy myself a pig. Of course I do
Yeah,
care. I do care what she says. I'm not getting a pig unless they tell me I can get a pig. But
exactly.
but I want a pig really bad because I feel like pigs just eat anything. I could feed a pig all my table scraps, you know? I could
Yeah, and even milk from
and
the
milk.
sheep. You can
That's
feed it with that too.
right. Milk and there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then the other one, a Highland cow. Really bad. I want a Highland
I,
cow.
I want Highland cattle too. Like I love.
I want a
I think
miniature Highland.
the only thing that scares me is the horns on.
Yeah, they're a little long and pointy. They're a little
Yeah,
scary.
if you haven't seen pictures of them or heard of it, British white cattle. Those things are beautiful.
I haven't
I,
heard of that.
I think they're completely white, or they're completely white, but their face is black,
Mm-hmm.
or some part of them's black. I can't fully remember, but they are the most beautiful cow that I have ever seen.
Oh, that's cool. I do want a cow. I do. A cow would be really cool. And what you can do with Highland cows is they're used for fiber, they're used for wool, and their
Mhm.
meat, you can use them as meat as well. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't eat it. I mean, it would be my baby. Like just
I
that
would
hairy, shaggy little guy. Oh my gosh.
wouldn't be able to eat something that looks like
No,
that.
not like that. They're just too cute. They're just too cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're adorable. I would like go out and like brush its hair and like braid it. And like, oh my gosh. I went to a farm, okay, and they had a white one, and his name was Olaf.
That is dream
He
goals right there.
was
Dream
the
goals.
sweetest cow ever. I didn't want to leave. Like I went with a group to a corn maze, and they all went in the corn maze without me, and I went in by myself because I was just standing there petting the cow, just like, it was great. That was a great day.
That would be me. I would be the one who, instead of doing what we had planned on doing, would be sitting down
Yeah.
with the animals, the
Yeah.
cow, sheep, whatever they
Yep.
had. I would be over there with the animals.
Yep. They're just like, I don't know. Sometimes people are just people.
Yeah.
Animals just have a way of just communicating with you, but not like talking to you, but then you just like feel it. It's so
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's so interesting.
absolutely. What is your favorite farm animal?
My favorite? Well, I'm partial to chickens, right? I mean, I've raised chickens for how many years? I'm partial to them. I haven't really experienced anything else, but I would say a chicken is a good. I do like chickens. I think it's a good like base farm animal too. Like if you're going to start out, like I would recommend chickens. Like it's a good way to, you know, lay out what you want, get some experience with raising an animal. Because if you haven't had an animal before, like farm animal, chickens aren't easy. They definitely come with some difficulties. It's just taking it by the horns and just getting a hold of it and really experiencing it. And I know from my experiences this year, I have learned so much. You know, there was some loss involved, a lot of loss, but you know what? I learned so much, and I can help others with it, and I can put that to use if it happens again. And I think chickens are good. I like chickens. I think that would be my favorite. You?
Even with like to add on to what you said really quick, even with like base animals, you can raise laying hens or meat birds.
Right, both are.
Anything bigger than that, like they're both extremely easy, but anything bigger than that, like a cow, if you're gonna raise a meat cow for the first time, you're gonna want that thing to get up to 1,200 or around the range that they're gonna get to, which is 1,000 pounds, somewhere in there. That's a big animal that you're gonna be dealing with.
Yeah,
And if
right.
you don't have the experience, you could get seriously hurt. Same thing with a cow. Cows are fairly simple, I think. I guess I've never.
I
really
don't
been
know.
around
Never done a cow before, so.
either. I've never been around cattle, but I mean, they seem easy enough. I mean, it's the basics for any animal: food, water, enough space, things like that.
Right.
But my favorite animal would probably be chickens, but I'm gonna have to go with turkeys on this one because turkeys are so much different than a chicken, and
Okay.
they're not. I've only raised turkeys once, but they are so different. And I wouldn't go with, I mean, chickens is a good animal. They're my first starter animal. And there's so many different like variations in egg color, feather color, things like that. But these are just all around good natured. You don't have one that's going to be mean. You don't have, I mean, they're all pretty much well tempered and things like that. And I would not say ducks because they are so messy.
Ducks are difficult. That's another. If you want ducks, like I see so many people like getting ducks for like Easter or like just as like presents. Like you need to know ahead of time. Ducks are disgusting animals. They really are. But if you have that experience and you know that you want to keep them, like I have chickens, so I think I would be able to raise ducks. I think that it's something new I want to try, but in the same sense, you need to know ahead of time like what you're getting into. You don't want to just get an animal and not know and then end up like, hey, who wants 5 ducks? You know?
Yeah. I got ducks and turkeys like the day before Easter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even for that. Like we knew what we were getting into. We knew that they were going to be a lot of work. And I was fully prepared to do anything that they needed to do. I've read that they can be with chickens and they can do all that. They can be in the same pen and all that, and they won't hurt each other.
Right.
And since learning that, I've learned some things that they can and can't be in there. Mine are, but some things have to be separated.
Yeah.
But ducks are certainly a whole different creature when you're going with like regular poultry. They're more, I mean, they are waterfowl, but they are definitely not poultry in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to do ducks. I really want to do ducks.
If you ever been around like the Canadian geese when they're migrating, so it is about the same as that, but in the same sense, it's weird to explain. It is and isn't like that.
Yeah. Oh, so another one I have on here is, what is your favorite farm chore? I know that whenever we have like farm, you know, you have your morning chores, you have your nightly chores, you got things you got to do. What is your favorite?
My favorite would probably just be feeding. I mean, it's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. No, I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
Feeding is just, and they get so happy over the feed too.
There's nothing. It's really.
My least favorite would be, because we don't have a pond, would be filling up like duck waters, because we do like 5-foot pool.
It's probably a pain because you just like dump it out dirty. Like,
yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, I just don't like it. It just takes too long, in my opinion. Same thing with waters. I don't want water all over me when it is 35 degrees outside.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That's why my least favorite is 2 things. Winter waterers. That job is stupid. That job is stupid because the winter waterers, like the ones that you plug in, right? Have you had one of those? Like there's like plug-in heated ones. Well, we have one and it is stupid. It's got a little hole. Like you have to flip over the whole water. You can't unscrew it. But there's a little hole and you have to dump water in. And there hasn't been, we just installed a pump, but there hasn't been a hose back there. I took pots and a funnel, and I had water all over my snow pants, all over my gloves, and I went out of there just Oh, and then the water would freeze on the ground, so my chickens would slip everywhere. I would slip. It was not. I don't. Winter chores are not fun. Like shoveling snow. I don't like that.
I don't mind the shoveling snow, but one thing that I did last night, which would be in least favorite, is we have a bunch of like cat and skunks, possums, a whole bunch of different things, and we have to lock them in the coop at night. And I had to catch the ducks last night because I just put like a doghouse in there for them to lay their eggs, and they were scared of it, so none of them would go in there. So I had to go over there, catch each one individually, put it in there, and I was like, "This is so stupid."
Yeah, that
I don't like
does.
doing it, but again, it will keep me safe.
Right. And I would have to say another one of mine is cleaning out chicken coops. Like, it's just for me, my chicken coop's weird. I have to literally crawl into it because I am very short person and I cannot reach up high. And we're talking, I have to take a whole stinking shovel, and here I am, shovels over my head, just like shoveling chicken crap and chucking it out the door. Like it's a sight,
Yeah.
man. There's probably like dust and just. And my mom's probably in the house like, what is she doing? And there's just like dust all coming out the chicken coop. And I'm like, I'm good, Mom. I come out of there coughing and wheezing because it's just like, oh, all the fumes and stuff. I don't like that job either.
Yeah, my coops now. I mean, we're really getting rid of the ones or straying from the ones that are like the traditional, have the run in the bottom, the nesting box up top with the roosting bars. Those weren't too bad to clean out, but we're doing a deep bedding method now.
Yeah.
With bedding that works really well. I am going to be like cleaning it out kind of weekly and like getting the poop out and everything.
I was gonna get into that, but I was nervous about like all like, what is it? Is it starts with an A? I don't know, but there's
Ammonia?
something. Yeah, that's what it is. Like the poop, like they can't be like breathing that in. Like there's something to it. You have to like mix it. I don't like mix it with like diatomaceous earth or lime or something like to keep it fresh. Is there something you have to do with that?
I don't know. I've seen people who like underneath their roosting bars, because chickens poop the most when they're sleeping. Like they'll put like cat litter or gravel underneath of it, and they'll just have like a scooper, and they scoop the poop out when they, like every morning, and they'll put like fresh mint leaves or something in there, or ground up mint, which works really well from what I've heard. I haven't tried it yet. I would like to.
Yeah.
And they treat it just like a cat litter box, which is a good idea.
That's kind of what I'm doing with mine. Is I was going to use sand, but I ended up using like this little, it's like sand, but it's like small gravel. It's basically cat litter. It's basically cat litter. Our local stone guy right up the road had it available, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's better than, having sand from who knows where, and then I have to travel and get that or something. But I'm trying that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop it and sift it. That way, all the poop could be lifted up into the scoop shovel, and I'm not wasting, all of that sand, stone, gravel. But I'm going to give it a shot. It'll keep me from, it'll be nice to have a coop ground level so I can shovel and not like have to, like, because my coop's like up high. So I have to stand on a stump every time I want to go back there and get in there. It's terrible. The setup is, but we've made it work. And now we're getting a new coop, and it'll just be so much more convenient. I'm so looking forward to it.
And that's what I've been trying to work on this year, is like making things more efficient. I kind of failed this year, honestly, but like we're probably going to do drip irrigation for the corn bed.
I do want to try that. That seems like a more efficient way to water things.
Yeah, I think the drip irrigation would be really good, especially for the corn, but I like watering the tops. I like watering the tops of plants in general. I know it's not the best for them. I don't do it with tomatoes though.
Yeah.
They're not good for that. But everything else, I'm gonna water from the top and everything. Beans actually grow better when you get like the vine and the leaves wet. And I have realized that, and it's been like a complete game changer for me.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you grow in your garden? Just like briefly explanation, because I know you grow a lot.
Yeah, tomatoes, cucumbers, corn, and a whole bunch of flowers, and then just some other odds and end things that I find that I think look cool and would like to grow.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing for me. We grow strawberries as well, which
I forgot about those.
yeah, strawberries, corn. We do beets. We do peppers, like bell peppers and jalapenos, banana peppers, the wax. I don't know. I'm not into peppers. I don't like peppers too much, but
I like the bell peppers. I don't like really spicy peppers. I like spicy food, but I don't like spicy peppers, which is weird.
There's a difference. There's a difference. There's just a taste to like a raw spicy pepper. I don't know. I just can't get down with that taste with the raw. Like I'll eat it cooked, but there's just something about it. Same thing with a tomato for me. I can't eat a raw tomato. I tried so hard this year. I ate like 5 tomatoes. I would eat it. I'm like, this is the year. I'm going to be able to do it. I want to eat a tomato so bad, man. I really do. I ate that sucker and it just popped into my mouth and like the seeds are everywhere. And I literally almost threw up and I couldn't do it. And I was like, what is wrong with you, Reagan? Like, come on, eat the tomato. But I couldn't do it. It was so
in
annoying.
July and August, I will come out here in like the mornings. I won't eat breakfast on purpose, and I'll come out here, eat tomatoes.
Just eat tomatoes?
Like the big slicer tomatoes, like apples, or if I don't have those in yet, I'll eat cherry tomatoes and like binge eat them until I feel like. And I love tomatoes. Tomatoes are like top tier food for me.
Yeah, I like tomatoes in other forms. Like I like sun-dried tomatoes, I like sauce, I like cooked tomatoes, all that stuff. But a raw tomato, I just can't get down with it. I can't. It's just there's something about it. It's just too juicy and just there's just a taste. I don't know. It's just not for me.
I understand it's not for everybody, but it's definitely it's an acquired taste, I guess, or whatever. But I do love tomatoes. Tomatoes are like my go-to food.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things to watch grow. Like if you could pick a favorite thing that you like to watch grow, mine would be I like to watch cucumbers grow. I think they're really interesting, and beans, to see them trellis, like just wrap around and then they grow flowers and you can just really, and zucchini are really cool too because zucchini just gets so big, right? And they have the flowers and I like those. I like to watch those grow. But if you had one that you like to watch grow, what would that be?
Favorite vegetable would probably be corn, just because it's so different and it grows from like a little seedling up to something that's so incredibly tall in so quick of a time. But then zinnias for flowers grow fairly quickly, but then like you can tell when they're about to open because like the flower head's still closed, and then just watching it open one petal at a time is just amazing.
Yeah, I want to grow flowers next year. That's definitely a goal of mine. But we're getting down to the last couple minutes of this podcast episode. And the last question I wanted to ask was, what is your hope for this podcast? Like, what do you want to see come from this?
To meet more homesteaders who maybe aren't as well known. I mean, we have the sense on YouTube of like the big farms and things like that, and those are very cool and they are completely valid, and that's what everybody looks up to. But then there are so many smaller things that smaller farmers fit into, and I would hope to meet so many more people who are like filling different areas, like backyard gardening or backyard chicken keeping, things like that aren't the norm, I guess.
Just growing your circle with more people that are, like you. And for me, I want this to be a platform where we can learn and others can learn from our experiences, and we can be able to educate and teach. And this is going to be fun. I'm really stoked about it. I know that this has been in the making for a couple weeks now. But I'm really excited to see where this goes. More episodes for sure. For sure.
Yes,
Many more.
we already have multiple planned out. I think I'm
Yeah.
looking at my list now, and we have 8 others that are planned out. And
Different topics for next episode. So it's gonna be great. Stick around for more. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.